What's the deal with age regressing?
I think my favorite thing to come from the internet is the ability to gain knowledge on information that I could never even fathom. My least favorite thing to come from the internet is the ability to gain information on things that I could never even fathom. I think I could have gone my entire life without knowing what age regressing is, but now that I know it, you have to know about it too. Age regressing is when someone grows up, goes to college, gets a job, adopts a child from an impoverished country to virtue signal, and then one day decides, I want to act like the age where I piss myself in a diaper. That's right, 80. But what could lead a man to want to go back to a time where he believed in Santa Claus and that gum takes 7 years to digest? Like how some people cope with stress by quitting their job with no savings, some people do it by pretending to be their younger self. What situation could possibly stress you out so much you want to go back to being a child? Did your crush go play house with somebody else? To be fair, this can be an involuntary action due to extreme stress or trauma, where to protect themselves, they regress to a happier time in their life. So if I regressed, I would go back to before I learned about this. This does make me think, though, how good were these people's childhood that they want to go back to it so badly? Their childhoods must have been filled with parents that loved them so much they both would constantly fight with each other to hang out with you and double Christmas. Also, what does it mean by they act younger? Do they get a choice? Because that's a vague spectrum. Do they get to choose if they want to act like the kid at Walmart that cries and throws a tantrum, or Draymond Green? Pretending to act younger, honestly, wouldn't even change me in the slightest, because my camp leaders always told me I was mature for my age. I think the main problem with wanting to be young is that you're not young. You get none of the benefits of being a child. You can't be bad at sports and still stay on the team. You can't eat for free at IHOP. You can't even kill your family and have your record sealed when you turn 18. Despite making fun of it, I understand wanting to cling to the past, and I'm sure that all people like to imagine their life if they made one minor change in their past, like joining the NBA or winning every Olympic gold medal. But those times you look back on your life with regret and wish it was different are hypotheticals. You can't go back to the start unless you're Hindu. You can see this feeling on the big screens in a lot of movies like 17 Again, where someone usually goes back in the past to fix their life and hook up with some teenager that they've been fantasizing since the day they let her get away. That's a strange thing to fantasize about, unless you're a chef in a 2.5-star rated restaurant on Google. That's their culture. People want to go back to this stage of their life because to them, this was the pivotal point where their life went to hell, not realizing that this right now is the pivotal point of your life. You can still be great. Unless you want to go into sports, music, acting, or the academics, but hey, now's the best time to get into bingo. I started to do research into age regressing, where I discovered the things that people do while age regressed. They watch shows from their childhood, they play video games from their past, and have a nap time. Shit, either I'm constantly age regressing or I never grew up. Then you have the activities that you look at and say, maybe Ultron was right. Baby talk, or speaking in a more childlike way, is stupid. It shows that we're the only species that devolves on purpose. This has always bothered me because it's common for couples to do in front of others. If I wanted to hear people speak with a lisp all the time, I would just go into VR chat. There was one activity that I saw in person while I was working at GameStop. A full-grown man came in, sucking on a pacifier. Obviously, he was there to buy The Sims. Do they not know the harmful effects of what sucking on pacifiers does to their teeth? It will cause them to eventually become the greatest apple bobber alive. Maybe your sports dreams aren't dead yet. Now we get to the kink side. Age play. This is when someone acts a different age for sexual gratification. Now, notice how I didn't say age down. That's right, someone out there wants their girlfriend to act like a woman from the 1950s. Docile, proper, respectful. Maybe they're onto something. On the other side, it's grown people acting like they're kids. At least they're not kids, I guess. Imagine that in court. But Your Honor, I age regressed before we did.
Get him out of my courtroom!
Not only are they usually rich, but they're almost never single. Is my lack of a sippy cup holding me back that much? I often see it combined with other fetishes, such as furries, but if they regress too much, do they get their balls back? Which brings me to a better question. Do transgender people have to be careful when they age regress? Because if they go too far back, they might become their original gender again. In conclusion, this may have been the fountain of youth that Ponce de Leon was always looking for. Immortality is finally possible. Hello, Outro Lunar here. Click here to check out my Twitch channel where I stream every weekend. Click here to check out the most recent video, and click over here to check out the recommended video. Okay, goodbye.